Happy Tuesday. I'm Jaime Greene, the Solar Queen, and I am live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube to discuss commercial solar and different ways that you can fund a project. So, a lot of commercial projects might be unable to be fulfilled on because of funding issues or lack of funding. And so, I am a loan officer with Uprising Capital, and we help businesses go solar. And do all the funding and financing and making those arrangements for businesses who want to go solar, because at the end of the day, when it comes to solar, both residential and commercial, it is a financial decision. It is a financial decision because what we're doing is we are looking to reduce your cost per kilowatt hour over a certain amount of time and locking that in so that you are no longer subject to rate increases that we're all experiencing with our energy, but also reducing what we have been paying typically to the utilities. So, first off, thank you for watching. Make sure you ask any questions that you have during this live stream. And if you are watching it in the replay, make sure to let me know if you have any questions. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a little thumbs up and share this out so you guys can share this out to people you might know who own businesses, who own commercial property, and they're tired of paying for electricity that is getting more and more expensive. So energy costs are on the rise. It's kind of crazy. It's a nationwide thing, not just with electricity, but natural gas and fuel. So we're all feeling this pain of rising energy costs along with inflation that we're experiencing. And we're starting to see rising interest rates. So everything is increasing. And one of the beautiful things with solar and commercial solar, industrial solar, all of that is that we have the ability to come in and see if a project's going to pencil out for that business owner and look at the financials and just see where things land. In places where energy is very expensive, solar is a good, you should be looking at solar energy and seeing what you can do to reduce your operating expenses and see where you can increase your profits. So that is what this topic of conversation or this live stream is going to be about. So there's different ways that you can finance a solar project when it comes to a commercial property. And here we go. So the first thing is going to be financing. You can finance the project. And the kinds of projects that I work with Uprising Energy, Uprising Capital. Uprising Capital is a little bit different, but with Uprising Energy, when it comes to the commercial projects, we're looking at projects that are going to be 250 kilowatts and larger. So it's a very large project. There are these little, I don't want to say little, but there are these small solar projects that might fall in the range of 50 kW to 200 kW. And it all depends on where your business is at, where it's at on the latitude line, and also what kind of space we have available to develop the solar project for you. Is it a rooftop? Is it a carport? Are we doing a ground mount? Are we working with, dual access trackers, things of that nature? It all kind of determines the system size that you're going to need to offset your kilowatt energy usage, which is an annual. We look at the annual usage. So the way to find out if you're going to be where your system's going to be is seeing how much energy you're actually using on an annual basis. Because solar can offset the kilowatt hour usage. One thing that's tricky with solar and solar energy for a facility is if they have demand charges. I spoke about that in yesterday's live stream, so you can go back and check that out if you wish to do that. But really, what we do is we're taking the kilowatt hours that you have used annually, and we're going to project that out 20, 25 years. And then when it comes to the financing, it's typically a 10-year loan. And we're going to factor that in and break it down so that you can see your ROI. You can see what you're going to be paying price per kilowatt hour with a solar loan in place. And all those numbers will be factored out for you. So that is one of the ways that you can pay for a commercial solar system, is financing it. So when it comes to those 50 to 250 kW projects, we have the ability with Uprising Capital. I'm able to help see if things would pencil out and if we can finance a project for you. When it comes to 250 kW and larger, it becomes much, much more feasible and financeable, depending on the financial health of the business. Obviously, the business that's going to be taking out the loan. And that's, we're going to be looking at profit and loss statements, balance sheets, and tax returns for 3 years to just make sure that the lender is comfortable with giving you a loan, giving the business owner a loan. So we look at all of that to help make it super affordable for the business and see if it's feasible. The reason why we like the 250 kW system sizes and larger is because things start penciling out because of the economy of scale, the larger the system and whatnot. So we are able to bring that price per kilowatt hour, the kilowatt hour rate, we can start beginning to lower that rate for you. So that is very helpful. So financing is available. It's not the only option. And these are, we can do projects of all kinds. So, anywhere from a manufacturing warehouse to multifamily apartment complexes to car dealerships to marijuana farms, agricultural applications, things like that. So that's the first way. A second way that you can fund a project is through CPACE, which is commercial PACE funding. This is where if you've owned the property and the land and the building for some time and you have equity, these lenders will come in and they will assess the property. They'll assess the equity that's not left, but in the property itself, and provide funding for the project. And the funding gets attached to the property taxes of the property owner, the commercial property owner. So you pay back the solar system through your property taxes. So that is another way. So if you have a business that has a lot of equity in the property and you don't want to come up with money out of pocket for this, CPACE is another option and something that we can provide you with. Okay. So these are high level, really just kind of an overview of the different ways that commercial solar can be funded and taken care of for the property owner. The other way is through a power purchase agreement or a PPA. So these are kind of, this is a good option for people or businesses that are nonprofits because they don't have tax liability to be able to take advantage of the tax credit. So the financing and the CPACE funding and cash are all different options that you can take advantage of the tax credit and pay down the loan and see a faster ROI. So with power purchase agreement, you as the property owner or the business owner, you don't really, you just want a fixed price per kilowatt hour, and you might not have the tax liability, but there might be an investor group or somebody who is willing to take on your project and fund it and own the system and then sell you the power that the solar system generates for that property. This is why this works out for everyone, is because investors are able, if they have the tax liability to take the tax credit, they can do that, but they're going to pass on the savings to you as the business owner and lock in a kilowatt hour rate that is less than what you're paying to the utility company. So it works, it's an advantage for investors who have tax liability and they want to be able to get tax credits to reduce their what they pay in taxes. And also there's recurring revenue for the investor, because the business owner is going to be paying on that PPA usually for 20, 25 years. So there's cash flow for the investor, and the benefit to the building owner or the business owner is that they're paying less in energy for the same amount of energy that they would otherwise be spending or paying to the utility company. So it's a win-win for everybody. So that is a power purchase agreement in a nutshell. The fourth way that you can pay for it is cash. So you can pay cash for your system if you are cash heavy and you have nothing better to do with that money. You can pay for your solar system. And what that's going to do is it's just going to give you the lowest, best price per kilowatt hour. So that is that. The other thing is if you have the ability, you have the tax liability, you'll recoup 26% of it right now, because that's what the tax credit is. It's 26%, and there's no cap. So say a project costs $1 million, and it's a cash price or finance price, it doesn't matter. It's $1 million. The project's $1 million. You would be eligible for a $260,000 tax credit, as long as you have that tax liability to take advantage of that. So you'll recoup that cost or that tax credit, and then it'll just help go towards your solar system. So if you pay cash, you're going to get $260,000 back, as long as you have that tax liability and tax appetite. And that's going to go effectively bring your rate per kilowatt hour down, applying that tax credit, or paying yourself back for that. So, and same thing with financing. You're going to pay down the financing down, that 26%, and it's going to adjust and make your kilowatt hour rate that much more less expensive than what you're paying to the utility company. And then one of the things that will also help business owners and building owner is accelerated depreciation. So this is Macker's depreciation, where you can depreciate the cost of the equipment and the system, which is what you're really paying for when you go solar. At the end of the day, where you're paying for all the construction, all the everything, but you can accelerate the depreciation of the solar equipment. So that's also going to help reduce your overall cost of the solar system, making your ROI that much faster. So these are 4 ways you can pay for solar. You can, again, finance it. Typically, it's a 10-year loan, 12-year loan, 15 at the most, but you're not seeing 20, 25, 30-year loans on a solar project. You can do CPACE funding, which is associated with your property assessment and property taxes. You can do a power purchase agreement, which is where someone else is paying for the equipment and then selling you the power that the solar system is generating, which is still going to be less than what you're paying to the utility company. Or you can pay cash. So these are the ways that you can pay for commercial solar projects. Again, these really work out when you're looking at 250 kW projects and higher, 1 megawatt, 2 megawatts, 20 megawatt projects. You would be surprised at how much energy some businesses use. And when you start looking at the cost per kilowatt hour and the savings and the ROI, and how quickly you can turn that from a payment, breaking even, and then cash flowing as a business, especially if you're planning on being in business for the next 25, 30 years, solar is very lucrative in regards to saving on your energy costs. So that is why I wanted to come on live today and talk about that. And if you're watching here on LinkedIn and you're interested in solar for your business, I would love for you to send me an email and just say, hey, I saw your live and I'm really interested in creating an energy savings plan or management plan with solar energy and seeing what it would look like for your business to go solar. I know a lot of companies have these renewable energy incentives and goals that they want to reach, and sustainability goals. And that's where I want to step in and help you reach your company goals when it comes to renewable energy and environmental goals. And so this is just one of the ways that something I wanted to share with you guys to make sure you're aware that you don't always have to come out of pocket to pay for your solar system. There are other options that are very feasible, very financially, that's not good English, a financial savings for you, or at least reducing your net operating expenses to the business so you can reach some of your goals that way as a company. So hello, thanks so much for watching on YouTube. I can't say I can say your name. I'm in Prabdeep. I'm gonna say, if I said it correctly, let me know. Thanks for watching. So yeah, so that's that's it, guys. Reach out to me if you are tired of your expensive electricity bills and you're a corporation or a business, and you would like to see what we can do in terms of saving you on your energy costs. I'm Jaime Greene, the Solar Queen, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.